I'm Gail Christopher. As a child growing up, I really fell in love with acting and theater, and I decided that I wanted to become an actress. So I actually went off to college to major in theater. I was excited about that, and I went to a college in New York, and I ran into the wall of racism, and it really sort of turned me around. It didn't seem like being an actress was the way to go anymore. And then when I met this alternative health practitioner, the lights all came on for me, and I realized if I wanted to be a doctor, that was the kind of doctor I wanted to be. When my firstborn died at 3 months of age, the concept of infant mortality and infant mortality disparities became very real for me. I had had friends when I was growing up who had lost children or mothers who had died, but I didn't understand that this was a phenomenon, that this was something that people of color experienced a disproportionate burden of. There was a book written called The Textbook of Black Diseases. I just had never heard of such a thing. And when I began to read the book, it was all about those diseases for which communities of color bear a disproportionate burden. These were the chronic diseases. These were diabetes and heart disease and arthritis. It was very natural for me to connect those dots to the barriers to opportunity and the exposures to discrimination that people of color experienced. Ironically, of course, during that era, there were no third-party payments for that kind of service. And so as my career evolved over the years, I realized it had to move from clinical practice to designing social and educational programs, to influencing public policy, and now at this stage to being in philanthropy, which funds some of these community activists and advocates who are also trying to change policies and systems. Buckminister Fuller said that fighting against old models is not the way to bring about change. We must create new models that make the old models obsolete. I believe that this is the new model of care, and the more invasive interventions and that are so fraught with side effects and things that are not good for health, those models will become obsolete in the face of these new models, and that gives me a great deal of hope.